Hi, this is Moresh, and in this video, I will explain you how you can make up to 30 to 40% return in DeFi in a very safe manner. So before we jump into explaining the strategy, I hope most of you guys are aware of what an LP is. An LP is a liquidity provider, typically on a DEX such as Uniswap or Balancer or Curve, or these days even Sushi. So there are a few of them. So typically a DEX, there are different ways to do this, but to give you an example of Uniswap, what you do is you add equal amounts of the collateral on both sides, and the price sort of self-adjusts based upon the demand. So if the demand for this token, if people sort of swap from this token to this token, then the price of this token tends to go higher, and this token starts getting cheaper, and vice versa. So when that happens, a portion of the transaction fees go to LPs. LPs are the ones who add equal amounts of the collateral to both sides so that people can start swapping in and out of these two tokens. So the big problem which LPs face is something called as an impermanent loss. Let's understand what impermanent loss means or how it can hurt a liquidity provider. Now, if your assets, one of the assets is going up and one of the assets is going down, and you have supplied equal amounts of both assets, then what's going to effectively happen is anybody who is going to come to that Uniswap pair, they are going to swap and give you the asset which is actually crashing. So if you have supplied 50 tokens of this and 50 tokens of this, then there's a chance that at the end you will be left with 2 tokens of this and let's say 98 tokens of this. So if this token has gone down in value significantly and this token has gone up in value relatively, then obviously you don't want more of this token, because then you're losing money. Yes, you are making fees, but you're also losing money in a significant manner. Another issue is if both of your tokens are going down in value, then yes, you'll make fees when people swap in and out of that. But because both of your assets are going down in value, let's say relative to the dollars, then that's a problem, isn't it? Now, the best case scenario is both of the assets are really going up in value and they sort of kind of trade parallel to each other. If one is going like this and one is going like this, the worst case is people will give you the one which is going slower, but that's fine because you're still having an upward trajectory. If both of them are going parallel to each other, then people will trade between each other and you will make fees, plus you will have assets which are going up in value because both assets have gone up in value. So this is the best case scenario. Okay. Now, there is another scenario which is actually better, in which both assets trace the value of US dollars and they go parallel to each other. Now, the examples of these are obviously stable coins. So for example, you have USDC and USDT. They kind of trade equal to each other. Similar to TUSD, similar to, there are so many stable coins out there. If you have a pair which is trading almost parallel to each other and it is equal to each other, then this is the best and safest place to deploy your assets, because you'll make a lot of fees as people transfer in and out of these two tokens. Each of these stable coins is optimized to a certain thing. So people have various reasons to hold USDT versus USDC and vice versa. I'm not going to go into why you should choose one specific stable coin over the another. depending upon the scenario. But it's fair to say that people will trade in and out of the stablecoins. Now, if you are an LP in a stablecoin, you are unlikely to suffer an impermanent loss because both of them are kind of trading parallel to each other, and you can make decent amount of fees. So stablecoin LP is like the safest DeFi strategy you can make, unless one of the stablecoin obviously collapses, but that's a different matter. Now, the Y dollar from UMA and OpenDAO is actually a stablecoin backed by ETH and BTC. So you can mint one Y dollar using ETH. You have to convert it to WETH first so that it's ERC20, or BTC. You have to convert to REN BTC, and we have an integrated bridge for that. But the Y dollar trades or has a claim on $1 worth of ETH till it expires. Okay, so till it is not expired, you can claim $1 worth of ETH or $1 worth of BTC against the Y dollar at any point in time before expiry, which means the Y dollar is actually a stablecoin. Now, if you have an LP of Y dollar to USDC, that pool actually does not have impermanent loss. Now, you can make 2.15% in fees in the form of balancer tokens. And this is a pool on balancer, the Y dollar to USDC, both for BTC and ETH. There is a ETH Y dollar and there is a BTC Y dollar. And you make around 2 to 2.5% fees from the transaction fees for the LP. But there's a bigger thing. UMA is actually incentivizing people who supply liquidity on the USDC Y dollar pools. Okay, they take a snapshot and then they airdrop the UMA tokens as a reward, and those rewards actually translate to a 30 to 40% APY. And as you can see, because there is no impermanent loss, this return is actually obviously quite a high return, plus 2 to 2.15% in the form of balancer tokens. So at around 32 to 42% return APY, it's an absolute no-brainer because you do not have impermanent loss. So what are you waiting for? Go to ydollar.opendao.io, mint Y dollars, and provide liquidity and make 30 to 40% APY. All right. So you heard it first over here. Again, go to ydollar.opendao.io, and that's where the magic happens. All right. Thanks. Bye.